What if I told you that your career in business analysis doesn't have to be a stepping stone to something else, to something bigger, to something cooler, to something fancier? No, you can live a perfectly fulfilled professional life as a business analyst. You don't have to become a project manager or a delivery manager, a solution architect, and still live a happy professional life as a BA. But here's the problem. I see way too many BAs who don't seem to consider their profession serious enough. They think about maybe being a BA for a few years and then jumping into project management or product management or consulting. And don't get me wrong, all those professions are worthy and respectable. But if you feel that your calling is business analysis, understanding client needs, their problems, coming up with solutions, and working closely with your delivery team, then business analysis is a perfect career for you. Let me show you how. Hi, I'm Sergey Shimansky, and on this channel, I teach business analysts how to take ownership of their career and live a happy professional life. If you're here for the first time, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss new videos that I publish on this channel. Thank you. Many years ago, well, actually back in 2012, I was at professional crossroads. I was given an opportunity, a job offer really, by a well-respected company to join them as a delivery director. Basically, I would be the head of the local office. And at first, of course, this whole idea really stuck with me because that was like, wow, I'm gonna be like the #1 person in the local company office. I'll be able to hire people. I'll be able to set up processes the way I like. I'll be in charge of almost all the things. And of course, I'm gonna get a great compensation. What not to like here? And in one of my webinars, I actually went into explaining how I really felt about this whole situation in much more detail. But in a nutshell, I lived with that idea for several months. And I was traveling to my several job interviews and did my research. I was even pre-interviewing my own future team to the point where I was actually able and at the point of accepting that job offer. And then one morning, literally, I woke up and I felt that inner voice speaking to me. Like, this is not your thing. This is not my thing. You're doing something, or I'm doing something I should not be doing. And I have no idea where I'm getting myself into. And that's how I eventually felt. I felt that maybe I was jumping into a great opportunity, but for someone else, not for me. Maybe that was someone else's dream, but not mine. And I felt really awkward because I understood that in that new role, I would be responsible for many organizational aspects. And in turn, I would be kept accountable as the face of the company with a lot of maybe wrong or adverse situations that might pop up and occur that would be just out of my control. Does that make sense? And it's not that I felt scared, but I feel that I was trying to put myself in a position where I don't belong. And where I felt I really belong is to work in an already established company. But most importantly, I felt real confidence in continuing doing what I had been doing for quite some time already, which is doing business analysis, where I work directly with customers. I can be deployed on-site or do discoveries. I'll be building relationships, understanding the client needs, working with my delivery Scrum team, and defining the scope of the solution. All this package where I really felt comfortable and confident that I know this area real well. And that's where I really belong, business analysis. And that realization came just out of nowhere. I don't know where it came from, but it just happened. So I got to that position where I just had to pick up my phone and call the person who was essentially hiring me or headhunting me and apologize for the time they spent and invested in me. And I said no. That whole thing really led me to start thinking about how I define my own professional success, not just in a material sense, but in terms of fulfillment. And I came to a realization that you can live happy professional life, fulfill your ambitions, bring ton of value and travel and get material payoff of your work. All this while being a good BA. Even though in my own career, my role has evolved and changed into consulting and process orchestrations, essentially still I'm in this realm of gathering requirements, understanding the needs, helping clients ideate the problem, defining and accepting solutions. All this package that we call business analysis. And again, don't get me wrong. If you really want to explore what life brings outside of or after business analysis, there are great opportunities. You may become a consultant or an IT director or maybe a solution architect or becoming an AI BA like agentic orchestrator or product management, again, is a great option for you out there. All of those are absolutely valid career paths. But my point is that you don't have to. You don't have to feel pressured or forced into getting into that new role in, say, 3 years. You don't have to. Why? Because you can be perfectly successful and professionally fulfilled as a BA. So if you want to master this thinking of, I'm a BA and I want to continue being a BA, there are certain things that you can continuously improve on. Well, first, it's going to be your client-facing or consulting and interpersonal skills. And it doesn't mean that your role or job title has to change to consultant. More essentially, you got to master this craft of working with senior stakeholders or a group of diverse stakeholders, navigating conflicting interests or priorities that don't necessarily align with one another. There's something I can definitely recommend you looking into, and I have some suggested reading for you down below in the description. Second, working on an initiative and helping nurture that initiative from just basic idea into something you can frame into vision, something you can advocate for, and then gather a bunch of supporters, be it a functional feature or change request or a product or a new way of working on your project. And again, I have some reading for you that I'm going to put down in the description. And lastly, I would put everything related to AI and specifically agentic AI. That's a must-have. Recently, I've passed the Anthropic Claude certification for architects. Okay, for architects. I didn't have to, but I felt that it was absolutely a must for me if I wanted to stay professionally relevant. And it doesn't have to be Claude. It could be other AI tool or provider since things change all the time. And of course, attending all the AI meetups that are available for you. Just being out there and listening to what's going on in the industry is going to be a huge advancement in upskill for you. Anyway, getting back to the topic here, I do believe that you don't have to be someone else to live a perfect professional life. You really can fulfill your dreams and ideas as a BA. And I am a living, breathing example of it. I didn't have to jump into project management or delivery management or solution architecture or becoming a director. I have been staying in business analysis for pretty much all my professional life. And though my job titles have evolved, people still think of me in my organization and talk of me as a BA. And I see nothing wrong about it. And I know that maybe in some organizations, it might not feel cool to be a BA. It might be cool to be a UX designer or AI architect or delivery manager, but not a BA. But ask yourself, is it really so? Business analysis is a great profession. It is through business analysis that I was privileged to travel the world, learn new language, meet people that I would have never met otherwise. I was able to work with some of the biggest brands on the planet like Toyota, McKesson, Amway, Medline, you name it. I learned a lot. And that alone gives me a sense of great fulfillment. And again here, my point of this message is not to brag, it's to give you a sense of encouragement. You don't have to feel that you're stuck and you're going nowhere. Most likely you're on the right path and business analysis is actually your career. Now, if you want to learn more about how I teach BAs to find purpose and meaning in their careers, I put a link in the description here to my free career development webinar for BAs. There I go through the various steps and stages of business analysis roles from junior to mid-level to senior to lead and beyond, and what it takes to build a career in business analysis. And unlike someone else who might tell you how you gotta hustle and work 60, 80 hours a week, my method is built on finding your real strength, whether this is technology skills or you're a good communicator, or maybe you're visual and people look at your diagrams and go like, wow, that's the best mirror board I've ever seen. Whatever it is, you build your BA career on amplifying your strengths, not on continuously improving your weaknesses. Does that make sense? You take what you're really naturally good at and amplify it and make it your unique strength. More specifically, I teach how you focus on a 3-step career development cycle. You deliver great results, you tell people about your achievements, and then you repeat and stay consistent with it. That's all in that free webinar that I have for you. I hope you'll find it useful. Please check it out in the description below, along with other reading that I have for you. So what's your take? Do you see BA as a destination or still a stepping stone? Drop it in the comments. Thank you for sticking around. My name is Sergey Shimansky, and I'll see you in the next video.